up everyone? I hope that you're all doing alright today and having a good day so far. Welcome back to my channel and welcome if it's your first time here. Long time again since I've done a video, and since the trailer came out for the new expansion pack that's coming out next month, they call it Sims 4 for Rent, which I don't particularly like the name of it because it's like Sims 4 for Rent. It's like a bit weird, I get it, but it doesn't really work with the 4 in the title of the game, but it's what it is. Ever since I saw the trailer for that, I straight away got an idea that I wanted to build some British terraced houses. So yeah, that's what we're building today. I do want to address the elephant in the room, the fact that I've been away yet again on another break. I don't think I really mentioned it anywhere because I don't know, I just didn't really I've just not really had it in me to explain myself every single time. But yeah, it's another one of them where my mental health has took a nosedive into a pit of sharp rocks, and it has been very difficult to sort of pull myself out of. It's been a bad few weeks and it's sort of ongoing. It's kind of gone from bad to worse. So I'm trying to just get on with stuff and try and do stuff that makes me happy. So building is one of those things. And yeah, I don't want to keep going on about my mental health all the time because I'm sure that a lot of people watching have their own sort of struggles, and you know, when you watch a YouTube video, you don't want to watch it to hear somebody whinge about the life. You want to escape and take part in something that you enjoy, and I'm not going to be whinging about it, but just for those that do care, and not that if you don't want to hear about it you don't care, but you know what I mean, sometimes it can be too much, can't it, if you're feeling a bit crap and then you watch someone on YouTube and they're feeling crap. But yeah, it's took me a few tries to get this voiceover right. I've done an intro about 12 times because I've listened to it back to make sure that I don't sound miserable, and I do, so I'm trying my best to not sound as mopey and all that. But yeah, things are not great at the moment, and I don't want to make promises I can't keep. I think I mentioned this in my last video that I did, that I'm not going to keep saying, oh, you know, I'll have 2 weeks off and then I'll come back, because there's no guarantee that things are going to get better in a set amount of time. So I'm just sort of taking it day by day, minute by minute actually, you know, just getting 1 minute from 1 minute to the next and then 1 hour to the next. But yeah, I don't want to talk about all that stuff, but just know that if I don't post that often, it usually is because of something like this. I'm not giving up. I do want to make stuff. I've got loads of build ideas. I've got a lot of build inspiration saved up. I kind of want to do some gameplay. I want to play a bit of Sims 2. I've got all these ideas, but I just don't have the sort of the motivation to do it. And you know, when you're feeling a bit down and you don't want to do your hobbies and stuff because you're not getting the same enjoyment out of them. I don't want to associate the Sims with me feeling crap. So when I feel crap, I just avoid it, and I don't do things that usually make me happy because they don't make me happy, and I don't want to force it, you know, by using a game or whatever. But either way, yeah, that's where I'm at the minute, and hopefully it gets better. So I thought I'd throw myself into doing a build, and the build's been done for, I want to say a week. I finished it 2 days after the trailer came out, so whenever that was. But yeah, I've decided to do some British terrace houses, which if you are from the UK, you will know that they are super common. We do live on a very small island of a country, and there's lots of us, so a lot of our houses are built close together, literally on top of each other in some cases. And I've wanted to do some terrace houses for a while, but with the trailer coming out, I thought they'll actually be usable now, so I jumped the gun a little bit. I was going to wait for the pack to come out so I could use the items from the pack, but I thought, do you know what, I want to make them now. Let's see what I can achieve with base game. And yeah, that's what I've decided to do. So these will be base game only, so if you only have base game, which is free by the way, if you didn't know, the Sims 4 base game is free now. But yeah, it's base game only for now. I might do an updated version once the pack comes out, but I'm probably just going to leave it so you can just move straight in. If you did want to play with the build and have your Sims move into it, you could always lock the doors to the other buildings, but each house is functional on its own. And you'll see in the build tour at the end, I did some screenshots with the Sims and stuff that I made for this. Well, I didn't actually make them for this build. Some of them were randomized Sims that I got from create a sim, you know, it just randomly generates a sim. And then I think 2 of them are Sims that I've made before, and I just altered them a little bit. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I had a lot of fun putting it together. There's something sort of satisfying about building houses that you've seen in real life, and these sort of 2 up 2 down types of builds where there's like 2 rooms on the bottom floor and then 2 bedrooms upstairs, they're very common. So it's really common in like British houses. When you walk through the front door, you've got your stairs straight in front of you, and then you've got like a living room off to the left or right, kitchen's like at the back of the house, and then upstairs you typically have like a front bedroom, a back bedroom, and then a bathroom. I were going to make these 3 bedroom houses, but I decided to go with like 2 bedroom just for the size of them, and I think it's a little bit more challenging to build like a bit smaller houses. I think I could have got away with 3 bedrooms if I'd have really tried, but the comfortable 2 bedroom ones, the decent sizes, and they've got these massive back gardens, which a lot of the terraced houses that were like built, say in like the 30s, 40s, 50s, they've got huge back gardens, but they typically open straight out onto the front street, so you've got like a main road in front of your house. It's a common thing in the UK for like new builds to have no back garden. So yeah, I wanted to make sure that they had big space at the back, and each house is suited to like one particular sim or sims, families, whatever you want to call them. The first house is more on the cheaper side. I imagined that a young family would be living here, mum, dad, and then they've got 2 kids that share a bedroom. And yeah, that was the idea. So I used more of the cheaper looking furniture. There's not much style going on. There's not much like personality to the build apart from in the kids' bedroom, where I spent a bit more of the budget. Well, there weren't really a budget, but I imagine if the Sims had a budget, they'd spend it more on the kids, which typically tends to happen. In my opinion, that's how it goes anyway. I'll be walking around wheels and my shoes, and my kids will have like the newest pair of trainers, even though they didn't really need any. It's just how it goes. But yeah, so this house is a bit more like a bit more simplistic. There's not much style to it. Some of the objects I use are not very nice. I didn't really care too much about what the interior looked like. I thought it could be a bit more of like a fixer-upper. Also, I'm probably going to pop in and out with the voiceover just to talk about each house. The video is a bit longer and I don't really feel like prepared to do like a long complete voiceover, so if I pop out and you get a bit of music, don't worry, I will be coming back in. But yeah, this is the first house, and yeah, I think that's about it. So the second house, I imagined it would be for an elder sim. I imagined that she would be a woman first and foremost, and a grandmother, and she's very into plants. So all of her house is full of plants, and because she's a bit older, you know, she's lived a bit, she's maybe saved up a bit of money, maybe she was married at one point, so her house is a bit more decorated and a bit more like, it's got more personality to it, more objects, more expensive items, but it's still a bit, you know, it's still a bit understated, it's not over the top. And I also gave her the second bedroom is for the grandchild, so you'll see them in the screenshots at the end as well. I had a lot of fun like playing around with the Sims, but it was very difficult to get them to interact with stuff, you know, so I could show off the build, because they kept walking off. Like, I made one cook in the kitchen, they got ingredients out of the fridge of the kitchen that they were in, they went to a different house to work on the countertops. And yeah, I also gave this sim a shed, and they've got lots of like planters out back for him to plant flowers, vegetables, fruits, plants, herbs, whatever they're called, all of that stuff. So yeah, like I said, I'll pop back in when we move on to the next house. So this is the third and final house that I did, and my inspiration for this one is very much like, I don't know the word for it, but a lot of people in the UK, like, I don't know if this is still like a common thing, but there was a massive trend where you just, everything in your house was grey or white, and that was really it. There were no colour, nothing really like standing out. Crushed velvet, cushion covers and curtains, and you know, there's loads of like TikToks or like Instagram reels or whatever of people being like before and after, and they've got this like stunning kitchen with like these wood top counters, and it's just really nice. And they rip it all out and they put like these super modern white kitchens with like grey wood floors, grey walls. The countertops are like black granite. They've got these massive islands, like very cold looking, and that's kind of what I wanted for this type of build. It's a little bit of like a, I don't know how to describe it, like a bit of, like, I don't want to slag off with people where that's the taste. I mean, a lot of my house is like, it's got grey in it and stuff. Like my living room's got a grey wall and a grey settee, but like if I could choose to change my settee like at the drop of a hat, I would not have it all grey. Like it's just not for me. It makes it feel quite like cold and dark, and it's just, I don't know. I love the colour grey, but when everything's grey, it just makes it feel like you're in a black and white film, you know what I mean? So yeah, that was the inspiration for this one, and I imagined it would be a single sim who's quite well established in the career. Maybe they've actually bought this house and they've done like some renovation to it. Maybe they're going to flip the house, or maybe they're actually the landlord. I'm going to say landlord, and they live in this house, so they've got like the best house, which again is quite common for landlords to live. Like obviously they live in a house, but like they might live in one of their own properties and they've done it up and they're stopping in it for a while, or they might even wait for the tenants to decorate and then they're like, yeah, see you later, pack your bags, I'm moving in now, bye. Yeah, rent prices at the minute are just shocking and the landlord's making a killing, but yeah, I'm not going to get into the politics of renting at the moment, but yeah, that's kind of what I imagined. It would be a sim that's, like I said, quite well established in the career, and maybe they're actually the landlord and they've got some supplemental income, like they don't earn enough money or something. And yeah, so the entire house is very like grey colour, grey themed, any bit of, you know, it's very like modern and a little bit cold looking, a little bit like lacking a bit of personality, but that's just what this sim likes. They want to be able to just have a grey, I would consider it kind of boring house. But yeah, and I also gave them a hot tub in the back garden, and what else did I give them? They've got like an expensive barbecue and chairs, like some of their furniture costs a little bit more money, and the house in general just looks a little bit expensive. Also, you might have noticed that downstairs the walls were a bit taller. I raised the walls so that I could use a bigger door, and then I forgot to lower them back down. I did it in the end, like it's all short wall height for each floor, each house and everything, but it proper messed up some of the items that were downstairs. So I did fix that, don't worry about that. Like I said, you'll see that in the screenshots at the end. And instead of a kid's bedroom, this person's got a home office, which I weren't really happy with the home office. I think because it was the last room that I did, I was kind of like running out of ideas like how to make it look good. I think if I could change it, I mean I still might, I'm just gonna leave it, but I think if I were to change it I would just make it a little bit more minimalist. But yeah, I just weren't really happy with that room. Also, I did all the bathrooms off camera just because they're all kind of the same, except this one I thought I'd just show you, just for the sake of showing you. This house has got a shower instead of a bath, and then the other houses have got that bath shower thing. But yeah, bathrooms are pretty boring. There's not really to say about them. And again, they went with a very grey bathroom, grey and white. I did want to put a little bit of colour in the bedroom though, so that it's like an olive green colour. But if you don't have reshade, I think it looks a little bit more grey, so it's like a really deep grey colour. But yeah, that's the interior for this house. And I was going to give the house like grey wood flooring, but I couldn't do it. I went through all the swatches and I just could not do it to myself. It was just really like, I don't know, like irritating me when I used grey, like the wood floor swatch, and I just didn't like it. So I went with like a darker wood, which I really like, that base game wood flooring. It's one of my favourites from the base game. I also swapped out the TV in the living room because I thought that oh my god, I lost my train of thought then because I got distracted by something. I thought that the TV, I used the biggest TV that's in base game, and it just looked a little bit like too big, like it was a bit unrealistic. Like they earn money, but like not like 100-inch TV money. I thought maybe that would be a bit overkill, but yeah, I swapped that out. And then like I said, I gave them a hot tub, and their garden is very manicured. It's like what I would consider a low maintenance garden, so there's not a lot of grass. And I kind of would like to pretend in my head that the plants are fake. This sim doesn't really have time for gardening. They're busy working, you know, doing a bit of daylight robbery with rent prices and all of that. So yeah, it's a very sort of manicured looking garden, a bit like perfect looking, as modern as I could get it with the base game. And then after that will be screenshots where you can see the Sims living in the house and you can see what it's all like and that. So yeah, I'm going to end off the voiceover here. I hope that you enjoyed this one, and feel free to let me know what you think of the new expansion pack. Are you excited for it? Is it something that you want to get and you'd like to play with? I am excited for it. I can't wait to play around with it and see what the apartments work like and all of that. I'm a little bit skeptical about some things that I've seen in the trailer, but I'll judge it when it actually comes out and I can see the gameplay and all of that. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and thank you for being patient with builds and all that stuff. I'm going to try and get some more out for you. But yeah, like I said, thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you have a really good day and a good week and a good weekend whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I'll see you later. Bye.